We want to use this opportunity because of time. We want to use this opportunity to welcome, especially all the speakers. We have Mama C here, Mrs. Cynthia Boache. We have her here. We have Reverend Bessie here. We thank God for her life. She's always with us. We have Emilia here. Emilia has also been a wonderful sister from Kumasi. I got to know her, and she's a very great speaker, if I should say. We have Francisca here. Francisca too is a very close friend and one of the amazing friends that I have. I met her at where I worked before coming to Europe, and she's a great person. We have Becky here. Becky has been with me since 2011 to date, and we have I think these are the speakers around currently. So I want to welcome you all. We have our media manager around and all GrowLink members that are here. I think they are still coming. Some of them are not yet in. So we are trusting God that as the program commences, they will join. So thank you so much. And our sister Emilia told me that she's traveling also. She'll be on the road. So we'll let her be the first to share her story with us, and then we continue with the rest of the panels. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Emilia, please, you can take over. Thank you.
Hello, family. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Great. It feels like I'm so close to home.
Good afternoon.
First, let me confirm if my network is. We are in different parts of the country, so let me say the different parts of the world. So, obviously, this is afternoon here, so that's why I'm greeting afternoon. I first want to say a very big thank you to Rosie for giving me this opportunity to share some few thoughts or things that run through my mind often. Okay. But then I also want to say thank you to the great speakers I see. But when I saw the flyer, I was like, hey, do I even have capacity for this? But hopefully, I believe every story is relevant. Today, I just want to share some few thoughts with all of us here. And I'd like to speak on a theme, living fully in every season. Living fully in every season. You know, it's easy to feel like you need to rush out of a season. And we see a lot happening in our world today that gives us the sense that everyone wants to get out of their current situation. So if I begin, let's start from the very small 4 or 5 years to bring very long hair with sometimes we want our kids to grow up and then fit into a space that they are not yet ready for. That is not the only evidence that we all want to rush out of this situation. Another typical example is education. Here in Ghana, you would see sometimes that a class 2 child is supposed to go to class 3. This wants to jump the child from class 2 to class 5. And highly intellectual, so we cannot put them in a space that will confine them. But all these things give us the view that we has to be. We'll also see how people rush out of marriage. And so I was just thinking about all that and even my own life. But when I was young, I never braided my hair till I completed senior high school, and I don't think it took anything from me. I don't think it took anything from me. So I feel there are things that God wants us to and lay back and then look at the benefits of every season. We will become better. So today, just some few thoughts I want to run with us, which is living fully in every season. Living fully in every season. My best friend always says that, look, we are going somewhere. We are going somewhere, but we are somewhere now. And here too is beautiful. Here too is beautiful. Today we see a lot of single people. In fact, all they are fixated on is wanting to get married. I'm not saying marriage is wrong, but there is a stage for everything, and God will not put you in any season when He has not given you what it takes to be there. As I just shared the thoughts, I would also put in some few of my own experiences that I believe has helped me. So I wanted to establish 3 points. Hopefully someone here would be reminded of God's will. The first point is that life is lived in phases, and each phase has its own purpose, beauty, and preparation. I'll use myself as an example. When I was in uni, my dad fell sick, and that was, I think, somewhere in level, when I was almost in level 200. My dad suffered stroke for 2-3 years, and it was terrible. In fact, at a point, my dad almost killed me. So it was that bad because he was depressed. And it was in that same time that I told God that, oh God, if you would heal my dad, then I'm going to find something to do for you. So eventually my dad got better. So I picked the form to be a chaplaincy secretary. And it was through the chaplaincy job, or let me say the role of being a chaplaincy secretary, my dad passed on. But the unique thing about that season was that I found my purpose in that very season. So every phase of your life has its own purpose. It has its own beauty, and it has its own preparation. I always use a plant as an example. There's a time that we sow seeds. There's a time that the seed must be buried in the ground. And there's a time that the seed will have to die. And there's a time that the seed would have to sprout out and become a plant. When it becomes a plant, there's a time that it needs to be watered. Then it grows stem, it begins to grow branches, and then goes into the fruit tree. I always ask myself, whoever waters a big tree? Have you ever seen a big tree? Then someone will just go and pour water that I'm watering this tree so that it will grow. No, because in the phases of life, there is a purpose for each season. There is beauty in every season, and there is preparation for every season. So if you are single, enjoy it. If you are married, enjoy it, because that is the season. I think one thing I like to also acknowledge is sometimes it's so easy when you get married. I have friends who are married and have children now. They sometimes feel sad about themselves because when they were single, they were doing more for God. But truly, there's a time that you just need to just go back, and all you have to do is to focus on your kids. It is a purpose. That is the purpose of that season. And it's fine. I mean, you don't need to do all. There's a time that you have to focus on your kids. There's a time that you have to focus on your husband. There's a time that you have to go to school. And every season has its own purpose. And so we all should acknowledge this so that we can enjoy life. The second thing I would like to re-emphasize, I know many of us, I know there are great speakers on this call, but just a reminder for us all is that every phase is carefully orchestrated by God. Carefully. Bible says that I know the plans I have for you. I have plans to prosper you. Look, I didn't just get up. And when we say plan, it means that God actually, if God was human, I would have said God actually sat down. He looked at be revealed, and it will give him, our daddy is intentional about our lives. That our daddy knows that at some point, Amelia's father will suffer stroke. Now, I'm not saying that it's the will of God that we fall sick, no. But in all his plan, he makes it beautiful in its time. He knew that if I don't use this route, perhaps this lady will not find her purpose. Perhaps. And so, God is carefully, in fact, let me say, he has predestined our faith. So he carefully planned it out. And so we shouldn't forget that. Another point I'd like to raise is that every phase must be accepted and then enjoyed. I did mention that sometimes we just want to rush out of the phase. Look, you need to accept your faith or accept where you are. there was a time that, trust me, when you're taking out, I mean, if we're all Ghanaians here, when you're taking out 100 Ghana cedis, it's a big deal. This is that time. So every stage must be accepted. Accept that, okay, this is the time of my life that I am growing. This is the time of my life that I am building networks. This is the time of my life that I don't have money. I can't buy the beautiful earrings. I can't buy the cars. No, I can't. And it's fine. It's fine. I mean, don't let anybody pressure you. It's fine. But you must first accept it as a season of your life. And we all know seasons. I mean, Rosie and then other speakers in the rainy season. My time and all that we know. But you experience, so if you're in the season, just learn to accept it. Then we can make the best out of the season. Until you have accepted it, and then accepted, don't just accept it casually, but fully. And then I believe that they would enjoy it and make them full. So if you're in a season of growth, please relax on yourself. Don't take it too hard. Sometimes you'll fall like a baby trying to learn how to walk. No baby. Remember, before a baby became a baby, that baby was, can you imagine? Like, you people, just think about it. We were once sperms that came to fertilize, and body parts began forming. And then our mothers had to push us out, and we came out with this from breast milk. From breast milk, we began eating something heavy about a few years ago. But today, I am this height. I was a very introverted person. Not fully introverted, but I always felt that people were better than me. I felt I was in my class. I was part of the first 10. We were about 40 people in the class. Also, I would never say I wasn't intelligent, but for some awkward reasons, I grew up with a lot of inferiority. I felt that people had more exposure than me, because in my class there were Dadabis, and I wasn't coming from a Dadabi environment. I grew up in a Zongo, a typical Zongo. I was born in Nima, and then we moved to Akutema Zongo. So the point is, if God can use someone like this, right, and still come out refined, then you should know that there are seasons, and God always has a purpose for these seasons that He pushes you through, and He's going to bring you out refined. I'm going to just mention some few things as well. I'm going to first talk about the dangers of rushing seasons in our lives. Look, if we rush seasons, rest assured, those that rush don't crash, right? If you rush seasons, you will be immature to handle the blessings of God. Imagine a child being given a Lamborghini. Obviously, the person's life will be lost. So understand that every stage is building something inside of you. It's building your mind. It's building you up in a way that you will be strong enough to be a pillar of strength for another person. So one, if the dangers of rushing seasons is that you will be immature to handle the seasons of life. You'll be immature to handle relationships. Human beings are gifts. But if God brings you great men at a very immature state, you mishandle them. You call them names, and tomorrow that will be the end of your life. And so I just wanted to draw our minds to that, and that there are spiritual implications when we rush out of seasons. We will not be spiritually drawn. We will not be able to see things. Our mind's eye will not be open. We'll also be bent out in life. Look at these young girls who always want to become adults. You see a young girl, sometimes I'm not even able to differentiate. In fact, there are young girls in my church today that when I see them, I actually think they are 5 or 10 years older than me. But go check the differences. Sometimes I'm even 13 years older. And I'm like, why are you rushing to? Why are you going? What is it you want in life? Relax. So I just want to reiterate the fact that every stage is beautiful. Every stage of our lives is beautiful. So let's not rush the stages. And we also pray that our eyes will be open so that we would enjoy every stage of our life. So basically today, my thoughts or what I wanted to share with us will be this. I don't know if maybe we have I would love to hear other comments if you can relate to this, how this plays, and if you have any questions, then we can discuss from here.
All right, that is powerful. I would say, God bless you so much, Emilia. God bless you so much, making us known that there is time and season for everything. And that is the truth. There is time and season for everything on this earth and even in heaven. We are very grateful. Please, I will let us say something on that. If you have a question, you have something to say concerning what she shared, please let us hear from you. Or in case you have a question also. Okay, I will say something later with regards to that. I remember when my husband now proposed. I remember I'm someone that when I'm focused on something, my mind is so much on that until it is achieved. And I don't get distracted. That is something about me. And so when he proposed, because of GlowLink, all my focus was on GlowLink. I remember one of the days it was on Saturday after work or so, and I went to GlowLink's office at Kaneshie. Yes, it was at North Kaneshie. So I went there. I was just there doing some few things for GlowLink, and I heard a voice from God saying that now is the time to focus on the relationship I have brought to you. It is not time to be here now. And it was so clear that now is a time to focus on your preparation towards your marriage, your relationship, and not what you are here doing. You've labored, you have laid the foundation already. It is now time to focus on this. Immediately, I packed my things and left the office, and it kept ringing. And so I think that time, that was 2023 or so, I told the prayer director, who was my mother, I told her that because mostly the time that we were mostly talking was on Thursdays. And the Thursday is also the time for GlowLink's presentations, Bible studies rather, yeah. So I told her that on Thursday, I will not be able to attend some of the meetings of GlowLink. But she didn't understand. I just told her that I need to excuse myself for some time. And they never understood, so I think till today. And that is how life is. Sometimes we may think that, oh, this is what God has called me to do. Maybe God, whatever you are doing, maybe is genuine, is on the right path, but is it the right time for that? And let me tell you, if I didn't listen to what God told me, I would have maybe lost that relationship because GlowLink is the work of God, thinking that is the work of God, and I have to, because over the years, I always gave my best to this vision. But in that time, that 6 months or within that year, God told me that no, now is the time to focus on something, another phase of your life. And when I obeyed it, that is how it ended in marriage. So I will also encourage all of us using our sister Emilia's story that she has shared with us, know the times and seasons. Sometimes the things we are even doing are so nice, so righteous. It is the right thing, but is it the right time? Doing something right doesn't mean that it is at the right time. So we have to always check and hear from God, because if you don't hear from God, you may miss it. Most of us can even labor in the church, and maybe that time is not a time for that. It could be the time to now focus on your marriage. It is time to build the unity in your marriage. It is time to maybe focus on childbearing. It is time to focus on other things, but you may give your effort in another area, which maybe God may not be the place God wants to bless you in that time. And then it will bring you several issues, thinking that, oh, why am I doing this thing for God? Why am I doing things right and things are not working? Because you are doing it at the wrong time. So that is the little take I also give on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. it just drew my attention. I heard something one time, and it says for a Christian, differentiating between bad and evil is so simple because we know what is right. But making a decision between two rights sometimes is difficult. And I love the point you mentioned that we need to inquire of God. And if not for the fact that you had heard the voice of God at that particular hour, probably a lot of things might have delayed in your life. So thank you so much for sharing. I do appreciate that.
Thank you. Please, any more take on that? Okay. It seems we are all filled with what our sister shared with us, and we agree to that. So we are grateful.
I think Angela was trying to speak.
Oh, okay.
Angela,
please, you can just go on. Immediately you have something to say, you can just start, please. Because
thank you very much. I think I just wanted to agree with everything that had been shared already, and also add that sometimes I share with young people that enjoy the time that you are in, because it's never going to come back. And sometimes it's so difficult for them to realize it. Like maybe they feel like, oh, I'm in school now, and then you feel so busy. But enjoying that time, building yourself up even while you are there, only prepares you for like the future, for work and other places, because even at school you are getting vacations and others. So it just brought to mind all that you had shared already. And really at every point in our lives, we are always waiting on God for one thing or the other. So which means that always learning to enjoy the stage that you are in, as you have shared, is very critically important, because it helps us to rest in God so that we are not anxious about moving to the next stage when it's not time yet. That's the little I wanted to think.
Thank you so much, Angie. We are very grateful. Okay, please, any more views or additions?
Okay. Thank you. I also want to chip in a little thing. If what Emilia just shared, that timing is important. Last month, something happened to a young boy I've been assisting. He's having cerebral palsy. By the grace of God, he's been through and he's completed Takoradi Technical University. He did IT. And we all lived in the same community, and he was actually in the church I pastored. So he and the mom came to tell me they are moving to Methodist. But that didn't change my relationship with them. So at a point, I even got TV3 to come and interview the mom and the boy for a surgery, a whole lot. Only one person from Facebook assisted us with money for MRI and all those things and brain scanning. After school, I've left. When I left Ghana, he contacted me. He still wants to go to school, but he being open, he took application to a school. It's a Catholic school at the barrier before the community we live in at Memphis and in Cape Coast. And the security man handled him because he is physically challenged. On the 24th, I think it happened on the 22nd of October, 24th, a colleague who also knows my relationship with the boy sent me the video. And so when I had wanted to post it on Facebook, he told me that school has issued a statement. So I kept quiet because an institution is involved and you have to be careful with handling these things. Last 2 days, at night after work, I was tired. I get to Facebook And I've seen a lady, Afi Antonio, post that same video with GH1 logo on it. So I commented under it and said, and even shared the statement the school has made. A teacher of mine was also under it. He's a lawyer. So he sought to speak with them. So I connected him to the people. Eventually, the long and short of it is that the Archbishop of Catholic Diocese for Cape Coast asked that myself and the boy and his parents should come and meet him. And interestingly, the lady that was handling it is an alumni of UCC. So she knew me, and I said, she said, we have met somewhere before. I said, yes, I know we've met somewhere before. The long and short of our conversation was that it is time Ebenezer gets help. So all those times, help wasn't coming. Nobody helped. Though I had help, even from one NGO, Grace Station Foundation, who was giving him food and a scholarship. But when the appropriate time for him to get a greater help came, it came through what the security man did at the gate. And now, I think the current Archbishop of Cape Coast is Archbishop Palmer Buckle, wants to see him and offer him assistance. So sometimes you may think that it's our time or we are delaying or what, but God has ways of weaving the fabric of things and bringing us into his real time. It's only that we are humans and we are limited when it comes to knowing the future and so many things. So we think that we are at a disadvantaged place or God is denying us of so many things. But he works with times and he works with seasons. And thank you, Emilia, for sharing this. You know, if nobody teaches you or nobody guides you, you will rush and then actually miss so many things. And just as it has physical implications and spiritual implications, as she said, it's very, very dangerous. Thank you very much for sharing this with us.
Thank you so much. And Reverend Bessie, we are very grateful for the addition. That was also very powerful.